Silver Axe, the Honest Elf, is a charming looking Metroidvania with really fun and inventive ideas. But even though it's out of early access, the game's language changes to Chinese like halfway into the story, and this made the game less enjoyable, because I couldn't really understand what was going on and I started to lose interest. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed the first half of this game. It's not the biggest Metroidvania, but it has a lot of cool boss fights, and the ability to combine spells is a really fun addition. The story is pretty simple. You are tasked to return the silver axe of the goddess so you can awaken her, but many have failed before you. Along the way you meet many cute and interesting characters, and they all have their own backstory and personality. Some of them are nice to use straight away, and others would like to get something in return before they will help you. I mentioned earlier that I really like the ability to combine spells that look really flashy and changes up the combat nicely. But one thing I also really find interesting is the fact that almost all boss fights can be defeated without any aid. If you are convinced these boss fights are too hard to fight on your own, you can get help if you complete a few optional side quests, which shouldn't take you that long. I really like this design choice, because it gives you optional backstory about these allies, and it makes you explore the whole area. You can basically skip like half of the game, if you are good enough. And I really appreciate having that opportunity, and this makes for some fun speedrun categories. The spell system and combining spells is a bit tricky, because you have basic spells and more advanced spells. The more advanced spells can only be unlocked if you upgrade one of the 4 element based spells. But to access them in a fight, you will have to cast a basic spell first, then regain your mana by hitting an enemy a few times, and now you have one more extra mana slot that is needed to cast an advanced spell. And the fun thing is, you can have multiple spells active if you are good at maintaining your mana. If you master this spellcasting mechanic eventually, the combat starts to be so much fun, because all these spells look really awesome and powerful. The level design and the movement based abilities are a bit basic, to be honest, but the fun spellcasting mechanic and the really innovative boss fights make sure it doesn't get too repetitive and boring. In fact, I really think this game is overlooked at the moment and really should get more attention when the full game is playable in English and not only like 50%. I really hope this patch will come soon, because this game really surprised me with its charming presentation and the really creative and interesting combat mechanics. So in general, Silver Axe the Honest Elf is hard to fully recommend right now, because the full game isn't playable in English yet, sadly. But despite that, the first half of the game really managed to entertain and challenge me with fun gameplay and memorable boss fights. The second half is still a lot of fun and also a bit more challenging than the first part. But for now it's less interesting, because you can't understand what is going on and you can't read the description of some spells and certain items, so you feel a bit lost. I really hope this will be patched soon, because it's still the best indie game I have played so far this year. It's charming, it's challenging, it's innovative and it's memorable. So make sure to give it a try when it's patched. So be ready for a fun adventure to bring the Silver Axe back to the goddess, and uncover the many secrets this land holds with the aid of all these charming looking allies.